What's up, Internet? I'm Troy with the Max Extreme.
And I'm the ghost of Christmas past. No, Ghost Hunter Dave. I couldn't follow through with that.
And this is Imperius Rex.
A Christmas special.
Yes.
Because it's that time of the year.
Tis the season.
It's also, they do say that, it's also going to be our final episode of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll do a Merry Christmas themed episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll take a little break, maybe, regroup.
Yep, that's right.
See the family. Chill.
Yep, get out of this basement.
Yep. So, in typical Imperius Rex fashion, we are going to wind down the year with revisiting one of our old friends,
right,
Grant Morrison. We are going to discuss two holiday-themed books from Mr. Morrison himself. Happy, which has a new TV series on SyFy, and also Klaus. Klaus! The story of Santa Claus Year One, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So, which one do you want to start with?
Happy? It's got a new show out. I feel like it's prevalent.
Yep, let's do it. Topical, something we rarely have on the show. We have to take these opportunities where we can get them.
Yeah. So, if you're taking these books side by side, Happy is drastically different
Yes.
from Claus. And Happy is almost indistinguishable that it's Grant Morrison.
I would agree.
I felt it was very Garth Ennis-y.
Yes.
To be quite blunt, if I could.
And another tie-in is the artist, Robertson, is a Garth Ennis favorite.
Yeah.
From The Boys and a couple others, I think.
Yep.
So, what's the story of Happy? It's a great setup.
It is. There's this kind of the scumbag guy, right?
Nick Sachs, I believe.
Yes.
Saint Nick.
I didn't put that together until...
What have you been doing?
So there's Nick Sachs. He's a little bit of the local scumbag.
He is. Was an ex-cop turned hitman.
Yep.
Right.
And now he's gotten into himself a little bit of a sticky situation where he was a hit gone awry, I would say. And he learned some valuable information that other people also kind of want.
Right.
Mr. Blue?
I believe so. Mafioso scumbags.
Right, yeah. And so he gets into a bit of a pickle, and then sometime during the first issue, he starts seeing this little imaginary blue Pegasus unicorn horse. This little cartoon.
The titular Happy.
Yes. And so he is kind of like that little Flintstone character. What's his name?
The Martian?
Yeah, that only Fred Flintstone can see.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is.
So you want, like, right off the bat, you're thinking, is he crazy? Is he near death? Because he is near death.
He's in the hospital.
But it turns out Happy is saying that a little girl, what's her name?
Shit.
That's not it. A little girl is kidnapped by a horrible... Haley, yep. Nailed it. Haley Christmas. Kidnapped by a horrible Santa Claus disguised monster.
Yeah.
A monster... A pedophile type of guy disguised as Santa Claus.
A real human monster.
It's not Santa disguised as a monster. Although it's Morrison, so maybe there's layers upon layers. But she's been captured. Her time is running down, and her imaginary friend, Happy, has went out to seek help.
Yep.
And Nick is the only person that can see him.
Yep.
So it's a buddy cop team there.
Right.
Where this disgusting ex-cop scumbag is teamed with this really like exuberant, happy to be alive horse trying to track down a killer Santa who has a bunch of missing children.
Yes.
While a mob assassination squad is after Nick.
Yes. So it's quite the cat and mouse game.
It is. Just your regular run-of-the-mill cat and mouse story.
I really actually enjoyed the story, and I knew it was a play on the title Happy, that the story is not going to be so happy.
No.
It's a very juxtaposed
There you go.
title.
Yep.
And a lot of this book is vulgar.
It is
It
is probably the most vulgar 4 issues I've ever read. I think like the F-bomb count in this is off the charts. Yeah. It's almost to the point where you think, is this like a joke? Is it supposed to be? Is he like trying to just do a contest with Garthinus on like who can drop the most? Because it is so over the top.
Yeah.
That you almost, like if you didn't know any better, you'd think it's sloppy writing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is.
No, because behind all of that stuff, there's a real, actually nice story that's like very well paced through the 4 issues. I don't think the story needed to be any longer than it needed to be.
It's a brisk 4 issues.
Yeah.
I felt like maybe there were scenes that could use a little bit more like transitional
I agree with
material, but I think that was just the limited miniseries that it was.
Yeah, page space.
I could have used a little bit more, but I did not like that it was this quick a read.
Right. And Derek Robertson's art is like the best I think I've ever seen in this book.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Like I have all of the boys, and he's not on some arcs of it or whatever, but even in like the first arc of the boys, I think this is better than that.
Yeah. Maybe the fact that he knew he only had 4.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, I can really just concentrate on this, and then I'm done. Mm-hmm. Out of this fucking world. As they would say in Happy.
That's very, very pro.
Did you have any quabbles with it, other than a lot of F-bombs, but that's kind of the thing. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it is extremely graphic in every regard.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the type of story it is.
Yeah, that would be my only really gripe with it. Like, it's not really a cool, uplifting story to read. It's kind of like a drag. But
it's almost like a dingy, Wonderful Life type of story.
Kind of. But, like, there is heart in the story, and you get there near the end. But, like, to see all these horrible things happen is just like, I don't want to read it before bed and just go to bed kind of, like, grumpy.
Yeah, I feel like you have to see why the main character is so beaten down before you can finally, like, get behind him and be like, okay, this is why he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
And then by the end, without spoiling anything, there is, like, some kind of heartfelt redemption.
Yeah.
And it does end on a pretty uplifting note.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought it was just a good, solid little one-off. So along with the book, the series is out now, which, of all the Grant Morrison things to get adapted, I think it's very strange that this is the first, other than All-Star Superman being adapted as a cartoon. But it just premiered, and it is so close. Like, right down to the F-bombs. It's SyFy, but there's full-on F-bombs. I didn't know you could do that on SyFy.
Curious.
But has a couple additional things that weren't in the books, which you'd have to pad out an hour running time.
Right.
And I don't know how many how many episodes this is going to be, but right now they're sticking to it very closely. Even moments where I was like, there's no way they're going to put that in. Like the hooker giving oral sex to the guy in like the cockroach costume.
Right.
That is in there.
Oh, God.
And it's one of those things where
very disturbing read.
Yes, where you're like, where did that come from? Grant Morrison. And I think the director of Crank is like the showrunner on this.
Oh, really?
So it's that type of just crazy, off-the-wall, energetic
I really
thing.
like that combination then. That's a good pick.
I think it's a good one. Yeah. I don't want to see all of his stuff like that amped up, but for this one, I think it's very appropriate.
Yep, I agree.
So hopefully the show continues to be good. I like what I've seen so far, and the book itself is a good read.
Yeah.
So let's go on to something completely different. Another one, which, if you didn't really know any better, I would be hard-pressed to tell you that this was definitely a Grant Morrison book.
Right.
Other than maybe certain very inconsequential elements of it.
Yeah.
So this is Klaus from Boom Studios.
Yep.
Written by Grant Morrison and expertly drawn by Dan Mora.
Yeah. I've never seen this artist before, but I really enjoy his art.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That savage, like, Viking type of character look.
The character designs are, like, realistic, but, like, they have bounce to them.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like a Ryan Otley kind of a feel, or like an Art Adams kind of a feel.
So Klaus is basically Santa Claus Year One.
Yeah.
It's a story of Klaus.
Right.
Klaus.
Yeah, I kept
We're going to jump back and
I
forth.
kept saying Klaus through the whole thing, and I was like, no, it's Santa Claus. But I kept saying Klaus. It doesn't make any difference.
No.
It's all the same.
Yep. But it's him. He's kind of like a woodsman who's had a falling out with a woman in kind of like the royal family back in the, I don't know what century this would be, but olden times.
Right.
Nordic olden times.
Yep.
So he's gone off on his own. He kind of circles back to this village that he once frequented and found out that, like, the Baron has eliminated fun all around.
Right, yeah.
No happiness, no toys, no one's allowed to enjoy any of those reindeer games that we hear so much about.
Right. Yeah.
So he makes a stand, like a very Batman or Robin Hood type of stand, where he's kind of like parkouring off rooftops and just like outwitting guards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Eventually he gets kind of like beaten up, banished to the woods, and he has a psychedelic vision where he sees like fairy creatures in the woods that grant him mystical powers to be able to like play a flute and make toys. I guess it is a very Grant Morrison-y book when you think about it.
That was the most Morrison-y thing in here, that he makes some sort of stew and trips balls and then like starts seeing ghastly figures at night.
Yeah, I'm guessing those are kind of his elves.
I guess.
I kept looking for connections to like the traditional Santa Claus, and either they're there or they're not, and I'm just really stretching. But he also has a big like white dire wolf. What are some of the other things? He has like a big burlap sack that he carries all the presents in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like very Santa Claus-y things that are just played up in like a really like Game of Thrones rugged Viking type of exterior.
Every chapter pretty much has like a different Santa trope added to this Claus character.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I infiltrate this city without being seen? I'll use the rooftops.
And I was like, chimney.
Okay. Some of those were pretty like ham-fisted in that I thought. I was like, okay, like that's not really clever how to do that. But anyway.
Well, it's, you know, he has the stuff to work with. What's he gonna do? So then he eventually is left for dead by the Baron after a couple more trips into the city to spread Christmas cheer.
Right.
And he has kind of like a near-death experience, or he dies and reaches like the fifth plane, as Morrison has taken us many times before. And it comes back with like an army of dire wolves, not reindeer.
Yeah.
Pulling this like
a bitchin' sled.
Oh my god, it's like this. It looks like a sled that could not exist in three-dimensional reality.
No. It's just an idea that is somehow there and being pulled by wolves.
Yep. So he has that. And meanwhile, within this town, they're unleashing a monster buried deep in the rock that the evil Baron is hearing voices of. So he's got the townspeople mining all day long.
Mining coal.
Oh, yeah.
For the bad kids.
Yep,
another
that's
Santa
right.
trope.
Santa. Total Santa.
Yep.
And they let the creature out. They don't call it by name, but it's very much the Krampus.
Yeah.
As if we're not through Krampus overload. But, I mean, it is the perfect villain for this character. So this really demonic, evil Krampus creature comes out, lays waste to a lot of the town, and then Santa, hops in his sleigh. They have a big battle. They go rocketing into the night, and eventually it all kind of wraps up without spoiling anything. But come on, we have Christmas every year. I think Santa makes it out alive. But yeah, that's it. And then he kind of goes off to become the legend that we know and love as Santa.
Right.
This is kind of just his pre-war days.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It is what it is. I enjoyed it, but I was not expecting a whole lot out of this. I was like, Santa? Really? But I found myself really liking it.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. Like, I didn't enjoy it so much. I thought some of the, like, it's just like take your average kind of warrior and then just kind of shovel in Santa tropes on top of them. Like, no, it's Santa Claus, only young and handsome.
Oh, and he was smoldering.
Yeah. Oh my God, was he?
Oh.
But Disappointing. Never see a reindeer in this whole thing.
No reindeer. No.
What's up with that? You never see him go full white.
Nope. No, he's still got that solid
handsome,
mane of
rugged beard.
Yep.
But yeah,
he's more like the brawny man than Santa, the original,
right.
Not the clean-shaven fool that they tried to reinvent their image with.
Right. But let's say if Santa Claus is still like this now, don't cross him.
No.
He will axe you in the face so fast.
Oh yeah. I think Morrison and Mora are going to continue doing like occasional one-shots with this because they both like the character.
Sure.
I think there's one that just came out where Klaus goes up against an evil soda corporation using his image in their advertising.
I'm all into that.
Alone
I
is
love
worth
that.
the story. So he takes on like an army of like goofy Santa creatures.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that seems like what Morrison would do with the Santa Claus thing.
Yeah.
Like this was almost a stepping stone to get to right to that story.
Right. With it being Morrison, and he usually has these big existential ideas or whatever, this is like pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It's not like I was almost looking for more
weirdness.
Yeah, I was.
Both of these are very like entry level Morrison, which are strange considering. Well, Claus is fairly new. Happy's, I don't know, midpoint in his career.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is not the existential weirdness of the Invisibles or Doom Patrol or anything.
Right.
And it's not like the solid all-star Superman that you can hand anybody and they'll enjoy.
Yeah.
Overall, did it leave you with that holly jolly Christmas feeling?
It does have a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus did come to town. He wrecked some shit up.
Did he ever?
And now the kids are happy and will be for all time.
Yeah, and there's so many Santa tropes. He could do this forever. Like, throw Frosty in there, good or bad. Kind of abominable snowman creature.
Rip that carrot out of his nose and stab him in the head with it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Ripe for brutality.
Right.
So, that was our last episode of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We want to thank everybody for sticking with us. We took a little break between season 1 and 2 as they became.
Yep.
But, you know, it's fun to do. And we hope that you guys enjoy our dumbass opinions on it.
Right.
And, you know, if you want to join along with some of these books too, check out the next video because we're going to talk about how you can do that.
Yes, very much so. But until you see that video... I have been Troy to the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
Together we've been Imperius Rex.
Yep, for the year of 2017.
What a year.
What a shit show. What a year indeed.
Here's to 2018.
We had some good movies at least. Right?
Here's to 2018.